Simca 10001961-78. The Simca 1000 is a small, rear-engined, four-door saloon which was manufactured by the French automaker Simca from 1961 to 1978. The origins of the Simca 1000 lie not in France but in Italy. Simca's President-Director General, Henri Pigotti, had been born in Turin and had known Fiat's founder, Giovanni Agnelli, from 1922 until Agnelli's death in 1945. The Agnellis still controlled Fiat. Fiat would remain Simca's dominant shareholder until 1963. Pigotti remained a regular visitor to Fiat's vast Turin operation throughout his time at the head of Simca, and when Pigotti visited it was as an honored friend. Following the launch in 1955 of the well-received Fiat 600, Fiat's development department, still headed up by the designer-engineer Dante Giacassa, set about planning for its successor. The replacement foreseen would be a little larger and more powerful than the current car, reflecting growing prosperity in Italy at the time. Two projects were run in parallel. Project 119 was for a two-door successor, building on the strengths of the current model, while Project 122 was for a more radically differentiated four-door successor. The entrance to the inner sanctum of Fiat's development department would have been blocked to most visitors, but Pigotti's privileged relationship with the Agnellis opened even these doors, and during the late 1950s he took a particular interest in the department. It became clear that Pigotti's intentions to extend the Simca range further down in the small car sector aligned closely with Fiat's own projects 119 and 122, intended to build a presence upmarket from the Fiat 600. Pigotti obtained the agreement of the Fiat directors to select one of the 6 different rather boxy four-door clay models and mock-ups that then comprised the output of Project 122 to be developed into Simca's new small car. The head of the Simca styling department, Mario Revli de Beaumont, was born in Rome in 1907. He had transferred from General Motors in 1955. Dividing his time between Fiat's Industrial Design Center at Turin and Simca's Styling Center at Poissy, Revli de Beaumont spent the 2 years between 1959 and 1961 working with Fiat's Felice Mario Bono, developing the Simca 1000 to production readiness. Although the surviving prototypes differ in detail, the basic architecture and boxy shape of the car had evidently been right first time, and the Simca 1000 of 1961 is entirely recognizable as the model that Pigotti had selected from Fiat's Project 122. In the meantime, in Italy the Fiat 600 continued to sell strongly and there was little sense of urgency about investing to replace it. Management evidently decided that a four-door replacement for the 600 would represent too big a jump from the existing car. However, in 1964 the fruits of Project 119 became public with the launch of the Fiat 850. The Simca Mille, as the car is called in French, was inexpensive and, at the time of launch, quite modern, with a brand new inline-4 water-cooled Poissy engine of, at this stage, 944 cc. Production began on July 27, 1961, with the official unveiling taking place in the context of a high-profile publicity campaign at the Paris Motor Show on October 10, 1961. At the launch Pigotti, for obvious reasons, placed great stress on the extent to which the new car marked a landmark achievement for an increasingly independent Simca, and the company's new development department at Poissy, while omitting to mention that the Simca 1000 was the product of close collaboration with the company's majority shareholder, Fiat. Initially, cars could be ordered in one of 3 colors, red/rouge Tussin, eggshell blue, blue Perventure off-white/grease princess. However, the show stand featured 2 additional body colors and the range of colors available to customers was soon expanded. The company's marketing strategy was characteristically imaginative, and having acquired a Paris taxi business in 1958, in November 1961 Simca replaced 50 of that company's Simca Ariane-based taxis with 50 much smaller, but evidently spacious enough for the relatively short journeys normally undertaken by taxi, Simca 1000s, thus the stylish little car, often with iconic Paris landmarks in the background, quickly became a familiar sight on the capital's roads. Pictures of Simca 1000s working as Paris taxis turned up in the press. It was nevertheless made clear that this was not a permanent change, and after a few months the red and black Simca 1000 taxis were removed from circulation and replaced with more conventionally sized taxis. The Simca 1000 was also seen in a number of export markets, with left or right-hand drive. Already by June 1963 it had found its way to South Africa, where it was sold alongside Chryslers, Dodges, and Plymouths. In the United States, the 1000 sedan was on sale for the 1963 model year, with the Coupe following in 1965.